Now we got steady rain today with occasional heavy rain shower coming through. Supposed to get heavy rain tonight, strong winds tomorrow again, another wind event coming in tomorrow. I decided I'd go ahead and put my rain gear on and work out here on this, try to get some of these logs cut up. Oh, I put another small log on the mill this morning, and I got a 6x6 and two 2x6s out of it. And I just put a second log on there. This is the butt log off of that first tree, that first hemlock tree that I cut down. I've got it sitting there on the mill now, ready to mill up. 12 feet long, plus a little extra there for the cut off there on the undercut and the butt. I'm going to try to get 4 6x6s out of that, 12 foot long. It's going to be tight because it's only 15 inches on the top, at 20 inches down here on the bottom. But I'm going to see if I can't do it. I squeeze that pretty close. I might be able to get a 12x12 out of that and then break that down into 4 6x6s, and that would give me all the timbers that I need then for the shed over those trucks. If I can get that much done and before it starts getting heavy rain here, I'll be happy. Oh, we still got the rest of these logs up here that we took out of there, and there's a couple of those that would make 6x6s, but if we needed to. But I want to concentrate on 2x6s out of those longer ones. I'm going to need those for cross pieces, purlins, or whatever you want to call them, on the roof. So anyway, I got to put the camera away again because it's still raining out here. I got that log milled up. Like I said before, that was the butt log off that first danger tree that I cut down. Well, it was about 20 inches here on the butt and 15 on the top, 12 foot long. I was able to squeeze 4 6x6s out of it. They're not bad at all. They'll be just perfect for what they're for. That's all I got out of that. I didn't get anything extra. I didn't squeeze any flitches out of it or 2x6s or anything else. That thing had a big jug butt on it, a big sweep on the butt on it, and a kind of a arch in it that had to be cut out of it. So I've got a big section on this end on the one slab, and that one there, that slab there, like that was the last one I cut off. You got 6 inches on this end, and then come right down and broke in half just in the bark in the middle of it, and then it went down to about 2 inches on the other end. So anyway, I got just about everything out of that log that I could, and I got what I needed out of it. I'm happy with that. Now when I put those 20-foot spruce logs on there, I was worried about whether or not I was going to be able to turn those over by myself with the peavey, and it turned out that I could just barely grunt them over to get them changed over from one side to the other to make the different face cuts on them and stuff. I'd mentioned earlier that this hemlock is quite a bit heavier than the cedar or the spruce. Well, this is a 12-foot long hemlock, 20 inches on the butt, 15 inches on the top. So it's comparable. It's a little bit smaller than what those spruce were, and it's 4 foot shorter. No, it's 6 foot shorter, and it was all I could do to get that thing turned over. I had to grunt pretty good to get it to roll over. So that kind of demonstrates how much heavier the hemlock is than the spruce. So I started out this morning, it was just occasional shower, and then a little bit of light rain off and on, actually just occasional light rain. And then it started steady light raining with an occasional heavier shower. Well, now it's pretty steady rain, a little heavier rain, not heavy rain, but pretty steady rain. So I think I'm going to put these timbers away, and then I'm going to be done for the day. I'd finished cutting up that first log off that first danger tree, and I got the 4 6x6s out of it. And while I was cutting it, it started raining pretty good. When I finished it up, I decided I was going to quit for the day. Before I could get that put away, my wife came out. She had my daughter-in-law on the phone, her birthday today, so we had to talk to her and visit with her and my granddaughter and son. And well, when I got done talking to them, I came out to put those 6x6s away, and it had quit raining. I got the bobcat going and put those over here in the stack. And I dug out the second log off of that tree, and I brought it over here and put it on the mill. Like I said, I expected it to start raining again, heavy raining again at any time, but it started kind of clearing off. It lifted pretty good here. So I went ahead and milled that one up, and I got it into 2x6s. So I've got 7 nice 2x6s there. Well, 6 real nice 2x6s, and one of them has got a barky on one side. And then I got 2 2-inch flitches here that I can break down into 2x6s, and maybe even get a 2x4 out of one of them. And then there's a 1-inch flitch underneath that is pretty marginal, but it'll make a board. Oh, I was worrying about my building that I want to build. I thought that I was going to make it 16 feet long, and once I got it measuring the trucks, I figured it had to be 20 feet long. Well, I've got these timbers here that I'd made for that other building. They're hemlock that were cut off the property there. They were small ones, and I'd mill those down flat on 2 sides. They're 6 inches thick, and they're just log size there, the rest of them. And I assumed those were 16 foot long. They were kind of buried underneath this pile of logs, so I moved logs around enough that I could get in there and measure them, and those are 19 feet long. So there's a couple of the ends of them there that are a little bit rough, like that one there's got a little rot on them, but basically they're still in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. I was worrying about getting timbers for that to make the stringers on that, but those will work just fine for it. That's kind of what I was saving them for. So I won't need to go out and cut any extra 20 foot long timbers for that. So that's good. Now I've got my 6x6s cut that I need. Those front ones are 12 feet long. Actually a little bit longer than that, but they'll square up to 12 feet long. And then the other ones are 8 feet long. And I can either leave them 8 feet, or I can cut them down and make them 7, maybe even 6. I want to make sure to have enough pitch on that roof that the snow can kind of slide off of it. Before it was pretty flat, and we had to get the up and shovel it off every time. But then I just had 2x4s and some rotten 2x4s up there for purlins on it too. So make these 2x6s. They're going to be nice 2x6s, and that'll be a lot better for that. I've got 2 more of those 12 foot long logs that came out of those. I think I got 2 more of them. I got one right there that'd be the 3rd log off of that big tree. Yeah, that other one back there then is off that 2nd tree, and that one's 12 feet long. So I've got 2 more of those. I should be able to get 5 or 6 2x6s out of each one of those. So I think I've got all I need here to finish that, or to build that shed over those buildings or over those trucks. I might need some more 2x6s, I don't know. Always before, what I did is I had all the trees on the property. If I needed something, I'd just go fall a tree and mill it up. And most of the stuff that I build around here, the shop and stuff like that, was all built with a chainsaw mill. But I've got most of the trees on my property all cut down now. Good. Yeah, I think I've got it pretty well figured out. This weather has been pretty fickle for the last month. Big fall storms coming in with heavy rain and strong winds. Had some winds up here 40, 50 miles an hour here, 70, 80 miles, 90 miles an hour out around the country. After that one windstorm blew the tarps and stuff off of things, then we got some nice weather after that, enough to get the bathhouse and stuff tarped back up. And then it just was drizzly and showery. It would shower and drizzle and it'd start to lift a little bit, and you'd think you're going to get out in it and not get wet, and then it'd start raining again. And well, I went ahead and kept working outside here. I got all that stuff down here moved up onto the new pad up there, my trucks that I had and the boat and the other trailer, and did some cleanup work around here on this pad where I'm going to build a warehouse now. And then we got those danger trees down, and I've been milling those up. And I got enough timbers out of those so far to build the framework, or for the upright for the shed. I've got 4 each of 12-footers and 8-footers. And I've got those out of those logs, those 2 trees that I cut down so far. And I've cut some 2x6s. That last log I put on here, I cut 2x6s out of it. Then it got the heavy rain again, and I left those sit out here for a couple days while I was working in that basement. I had 2 flitches laying out here on the mill deck, and I just milled those up. I got 2 2x6s out of them and 2 2x4s out of them. We're getting a little stack of lumber out of those logs anyway. Well, I got another log on there now. This is, I don't know which tree this is off of. Probably that bigger one. It's a 12-footer. Well, I'll go ahead and slice it up into 2x6s. Now, we had a nasty weather for the last 2 days again, strong winds and heavy rain. So I quit milling here and was working in the basement. And then this morning it broke out sunshiny and beautiful, and I should be out there. I would like to be out there cutting on those spruce trees that I've got selected out there to bring in to finish up the 1x12s for the warehouse project. But working out here in this drizzle and stuff, I just got a cold, and I was pretty sick this morning in bed, laying around, didn't feel like doing anything, and I just kept looking outside and seeing the sunshine, and finally decided I better get my butt out here and get something done. So that's what we're doing. Well, I screwed that up a little bit. I wanted to get nominal dimension 2x6s out of that. I run the mill down to 1 5/8, and then I measured up 1 3/4 until I got up to where I cut the slab off the log. So 1 3/4 would give me 1 5/8 finished wood, because you have an 1/8 of an inch of kerf on that. Well, somehow I messed that up a little bit, and I wound up with about a 3/4 inch board in the middle there. Anyway, there's another log milled up. Well, right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2x6s, and then there's a slab there that has another 2x6 in it, a flitch, and a 1-inch flitch off of that.